Well, let me just say that, you see, when you are, I'm a medical doctor. You see, in practice, there is what we call shock. And when you are in shock, you must give anti-shock. And then after you give anti-shock, you now begin to stabilize. And when you begin, after stabilization, you monitor and then you finally discharge. So in social management, it's also the same criteria. People will come in shock, you understand? You must give them what will take that immediate concern as at that time. While they are in the register, you now begin to see how can you stabilize them. And then how you stabilize them, how do you exit them out of that register? You see, that's why if you look at even the act that established NSPA, it comes up with criteria of who is supposed to be in the register. You understand? You must be poor, you must be vulnerable, and must be different way of confirming really you are poor and you are vulnerable. In the event you lie that you are poor while you are not, there is a sanction. Two major sanctions. You refund what you have obtained, plus or minus 6 months imprisonment. So that to ensure that not everybody will just come. While you are self-sustained, you have your job doing, you are doing everything, because they come to enroll people, you just giving your name or your family so that this.
But what are the criteria for determining who is poor?
The determining factors were in any social register that you are going to constitute. Worldwide, there are procedures, and even in Nigeria, that's what is followed. We come to a community of, let's say, 100 people. You ask people, one after the other, who is the most poorest person in this environment? They will mention name, they will mention family. You understand? That's how you know, okay, who is next? That's how you know this. As they are mentioning, you are this, you are getting their data and you are capturing. So by the time you finish, you have all those that are poor and who are vulnerable. Vulnerable groups are already defined. Pregnant women, widows, people with disability, children, and many of those who are unemployed. These are vulnerable groups that can easily be tilted toward marked poverty, or also toward what may even be detrimental to this country. Because if one is poor, he lacks what to take in the morning, he can easily be used by miscreants to cause chaos and further perpetuate poverty. So you understand there are that criteria. And now when you are in the register, we now move to another stage, which we are also working seriously, to provide a durable solution. Because you cannot remain there permanently. You understand? If we allow people to remain now, it will be negative to the country. Because people will develop overdependence on the system. They cannot go out to work because they are sure that they will be provided, for instance. You understand? So even world over, no country have people that will remain permanently in social register because of the negative consequences of overdependence. Now, what are those durable solutions? That's now where we think we work hard to see how can we empower people. And what we have mentioned earlier, in terms of creating a business that will be provide an avenue for first self-sustenance and ability to carry the family. Because when you are talking of social investment, you are talking of the household. You are not talking about independence, it's a household. And that household, in a household you have up to 5 people that are registered under that household. So you see how you can provide them with enabling this. Let me take for instance, yes, he has mentioned the internally displaced person and many other groups. Yes, for instance, we have some of the durable solutions that we have started with those who are in internally displaced camp. Is to have an MOU between the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, National Commission for Refugee, Migrant and Internally Displaced Persons, NALDA, and Federal Ministry of Agriculture to co-opt them into a cluster groups that are trained through their cooperation of the host community to provide a massive land that can be cultivated by the internally displaced person in conjunction with the agencies I mentioned earlier. And then once it is done, after harvest, we came in with a formula. 30% of all that have been produced will remain to be used by the internally displaced person that are decent. The 70% will be uptaken by the government as a cash component, so that will also be paid to the clusters that participated in the agric which will now, they will now use it, they have the food, They will now do it to do some business, to also use it to provide other ingredients that will make them to prepare a food that can be consumed by the family. And that has been very, very successful. The minister was in Borno, which has flagged up the harvesting of rice, maize, beans, and this thing. And I was also in Jos, which we did the same thing in terms of this thing. And this is going to be a durable solution. And our other durable solution that we are moving towards, we have potential of renewable energy. And this renewable energy are what can be utilized. For instance, now, as part of our eradication of poverty measures, we have market women who are into fish and fish processing. You understand? So, if you want to assist those people, you must improve their way of preserving and also preparing their fish in terms of providing dryer for them, solar refrigerators that can be used to store so that avoid wastage, and many other things, even perishable items like tomatoes, and this can be done. Now, in our durable solution, there are a group of youth that we are recruiting to train them on solar energy installation and this. So we train them, and when we need to go for those market women to provide those items to them, these same people that were trained will now serve it as a practical session to go and make this thing under supervision to ensure that they can do it practically. And when we are certain that they are out, we now exited them through a starter pack that will allow them to now go into full-scale business that they will now do under this. So also in terms of agriculture, we are looking at this thing. We are looking for youth, even wherever they are, as part of our durable solution, to see how can we introduce different various agricultures. For example, now if you go to North Central somewhere like those and many other places, green agriculture, in terms of using greenhouses, is one of the fastest now means of making money. And we are going into that to see how much can we produce in different parts of areas that the weather and condition can allow for green agriculture to thrive there, so that we can get you involved in there and engage in that.
Right,
look at just last year, the issue we have when you have 3 or 4 tomatoes costing almost 1,000 or 500 when we had that crisis. So these are areas that potential areas that we can go and improve our sustainability. I mentioned solar energy, I mentioned automobile, and we are also going into many different skills. And in fact, the act that established NSPA mandated them to also have skill acquisition centers so that they can train in terms of eradication poverty. So that all those people that are there, once you are there, you are not going to remain there permanently. We'll continue with our durable solution. And when you are fit to go out, we'll give you the starter pack that you can go and establish yourself.
All right.